Ace Visconti is the seventh survivor in Dead by Daylight, having been introduced in Chapter 3 of Flesh and Mud alongside the Hag. As is the case for every survivor, Ace brought with him 3 new perks, and these new perks are interesting, to say the least. But you're here to hear specifics, so let's dive into the details. This perk is part of a small category of perks that relate to getting items out of chests. Ace in the Hole provides the incredible benefit of making items that you get out of chests come pre-equipped with a purple add-on, or maybe something slightly lower. So for example, a medkit might come with a styptic agent, or if you're unlucky enough to get a key, it might come with blood amber and not be totally worthless. The item you get also has a 50% chance of coming with a second add-on of yellow or brown quality, which is a little less useful as far as add-ons go, but this still means that roughly half the time you can collect an item from a chest that comes with 2 add-ons already attached to it, which makes the item in question significantly more valuable. That being said, I would keep in mind that if you plan on using items, you would still probably do better to just bring your own instead of using this perk, since you're taking a huge gamble on whether you get something you want or are even capable of using well. I can't use flashlights to save my life, for example, and if the killer has Lightborn, a flashlight is worthless. Anyway, if you do want to use this perk, then you should probably use Plunderer's Instinct so you aren't wasting a ton of time trying to find any chests. A decent perk, but I wouldn't say this is better than bringing your own item and using perks like Streetwise, or better yet, Build to Last, so keep that in mind. This is definitely Ace's best perk, and all it really does is upgrade your ability to read auras. That is, when you have this equipped, any aura reading perks that you are using will see their maximum range increased by 16 meters, which might not sound like a lot, but remember that most aura reading perks actually have a fairly limited range, and you might start to see the value in this perk. I'll start by mentioning that a few medic-type abilities related to aura reading, such as Empathy, Empathic Connection, and Aftercare, have a large enough range by default that you won't even notice the difference with open-handed. But those are the exceptions. Perks like Bond or Visionary or Kindred are where this perk can really shine. However, it doesn't end there, because the effect of open-handed actually isn't limited to just perks. Your items can also benefit from this. And by items, I mean maps and keys. Keys, when equipped with specific add-ons, can allow you to see the auras of both the killer and the other survivors, which a range boost can service quite nicely, while maps can allow you to see the auras of just about everything else, which is slightly less useful, I'd say, but still quite helpful. And all of that is without even mentioning the fact that open-handed actually buffs your teammates as well, not just you. If your allies are using aura reading in any capacity, then they can benefit from you bringing this, ensuring that even if you aren't using any aura reading perks or tools, open-handed is still guaranteed to have at least some value, since it is extremely unlikely that between 4 people there won't be at least one aura perk at play. However, the perk does have one minor caveat in that the benefits don't stack if multiple people bring it. So the only bonus happening, if that is the case, is someone acts as a backup buffer, since if the person bringing open-handed dies, then of course everyone loses the benefit. Even with that being the case, this is a fantastic perk for both personal and support purposes. We would highly recommend if you like aura reading. This is Ace's worst perk, and, at least in my opinion, a contender for one of the worst perks in the game. Up the Ante boosts your luck by 3% for every teammate still alive, which might not sound that bad until you learn just how limited the effects of luck are. Luck as a stat increases the odds of you successfully unhooking yourself. That's it, that's all it does. The default chance of unhooking yourself sits at 4%, so if you equip this perk and all 3 of your teammates are still alive, your odds of unhooking yourself go from 4 to 13%. That is certainly an improvement, but not nearly enough of one to actually be useful. However, there is a small flake of potential that could snowball into a boulder of awesomeness, or at least make for some fun games. Something I left out is the fact that the luck bonus actually applies to everybody, not just you, so everybody gets that 9% bonus. Better yet, unlike open-handed, this bonus actually can stack. So if a full team of survivors bring this perk, then that 9% bonus becomes a hefty 36% bonus, giving you a 40% chance of unhooking yourself, a colossal improvement over the pitiful 4% you started with. And if that's not good enough odds for you, you can take it even further with the universal perk Slippery Meat for an additional 4% bonus, and the Vigo's Jar of Salty Lips offering increases everyone's luck by 3%, so a 12% boost if everyone burns one. Put all of that together and you get an incredible 56% chance of unhooking yourself. Of course, the only way you could ever get the chance to experience this is by playing with a group of friends, since you would have to get insanely lucky to have this happen in a random match, and no amount of Salty Lips could boost your matchmaking luck in that. Unless you coordinate this with some buddies, I would not recommend using this perk ever. And that's all of Ace's perks. Overall, a subpar lineup, but open-handed is incredible, at least. But I want to know what you think. Is Up the Ante better than I claim? Is there something I forgot to mention with Ace in the hole? Feel free to discuss in the comments, but in the meantime, I have more work to do. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.